Hello students, welcome to my channel. Today I will discuss about the chemical bonding. This is the last lesson of this topic. If you haven't watched the previous lessons on this topic, then first go and watch those videos in my channel. Then you will be able to understand this particular lesson. So let's start the lesson. In my previous video, I have already told you how covalent compounds are formed. There I gave one example like of ammonia, whose structure I have shown you. Ammonia means NH3. Now ammonia is a polar covalent compound. I have already told you about this. In case of polar covalent compound, the shared pair of electrons, they are not equally distributed. That's why charge separation takes place in this kind of compounds. So let's see once again the structure of ammonia. Ammonia means NH3. So nitrogen will be present and 3 hydrogen will be present. Now nitrogen contains 5 valence electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? And each of the hydrogen atom will have 1 valence electron. 1, 2, 3. Now so as to complete the octet, both hydrogen and nitrogen will share this 3 pair of electrons. Right? So these 3 pairs of electrons take part in the formation of a chemical bond. But this particular pair of electron does not take part in any of the bond formation. This particular pair of electron is not shared by any of the atom. This pair is known as lone pair of electrons. Lone means which is not shared with any of the atom. Lone comes from the term alone. Okay, so it is the lone pair of electron. So just because of this particular lone pair of nitrogen atom, we can see a lone pair effect in ammonia molecule. Clear? Okay. Now we will study what is coordinate bond. Coordinate bond is a kind of covalent bond. Okay, it's another type of covalent bond. So as to understand coordinate bond, let's take an example. Let's take the example of hydronium ion. Hydronium ion is H3O+. In this type of ion, 3 hydrogen is present and 1 oxygen is present. Now how hydronium ion is formed? Hydronium ion is formed when water molecule is combined with 1 hydrogen ion. Hydrogen ion means the hydrogen atom has given 1 electron. It has 1 electron in its valence shell. So when hydrogen atom gives out or loses that particular electron, then it will become a cation. Okay, so that is the hydrogen ion. When water molecule reacts with hydrogen ion, then it forms the hydronium ion. So let's see how hydronium ion is formed. Here, first draw the structure of water molecule. Okay, 1 oxygen and 2 hydrogen. Oxygen has 6 valence electrons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And hydrogen has 1 valence electron, 1 and then 2. So as to complete octet, these 2 pair of electrons will be shared. But these 2 pairs, they are the lone pairs, they are not taking part now. But when we will add H plus ion, then what will happen? Then because this particular hydrogen has no electron at all, it does not have a single electron. So this pair of electron will be shared between these 2. Let's see. This particular electron is shared by the hydrogen ion and the oxygen of the water molecule. So now the structure becomes, now let's draw the structure of water molecule and the hydrogen ion. This hydrogen is of that hydrogen ion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 1, 2. Now see what happens. This particular lone pair, which was before a lone pair, Now it is shared between the oxygen and the hydrogen of that hydrogen ion. The bond that forms between this oxygen and hydrogen, this bond is the coordinate bond. That means here the hydrogen ion accepts one lone pair of electrons of the oxygen atom of that of the water molecule, which leads to the formation of a bond which is known as coordinate bond. This forms a covalent bond, but this type of covalent bond is known as coordinate bond. Clear? So in water, the oxygen atom contains two lone pairs of electrons after completing its octet. This is one and another one is this. But here when hydrogen ion reacts with that of the water molecule, the hydrogen ion will accept this particular one lone pair of electrons of the oxygen atom of the water molecule. That will lead to the formation of a coordinate bond. And how we represent coordinate bond? See, in this way. Single bond will be there of oxygen, and with the form of an arrow we will represent coordinate bond in the form of an arrow, and there is another pair of lone pair of electron. Clear? This is the coordinate bond. So see, coordinate bond is another type of covalency or covalent bond, where what happens, it involves one of the combining atoms that contribute both of the shared electrons towards the establishment of a coordinate covalent bond. That means here a lone pair of electron will be shared between two atoms. When this type of bond forms, then it is known as coordinate bond. This is the type of covalent bond. Clear? Now let's see another example of coordinate bond. I have already shown you the example of hydronium ion. Now let's take an example of ammonium ion. Ammonium ion, the formula is NH4 plus. Okay, it contains 4 hydrogen and 1 nitrogen. How ammonium ion forms? See, it forms when ammonia means NH3, when ammonia gas reacts with hydrogen ion, then it forms. Okay, let's see, just similar to that of the hydronium ion. First, we need to draw the structure of ammonia. N, then 3H, NH3. Nitrogen contains 5 valence electron, right? 5 valence electron, and hydrogen contains 1 valence electron. These 3 pairs of electrons will be shared, and this is the lone pair, right? Now, when an hydrogen ion will react with this ammonium, then what will happen? Then a bond will be formed with this particular lone pair of electron. Okay, a bond will be formed with this particular lone pair of electron. Now let's see the bond. See, here is the ammonia with the single bond, because single pair of electron has been shared between nitrogen and each of the hydrogen atom. Now this lone pair of electron is shared by the hydrogen of that hydrogen ion. Now this bond is the coordinate bond. Hydrogen, hydrogen, and here we will see that here is the coordinate bond. Clear? So here what happens in ammonia, the nitrogen atom contains only one pair of lone pair of electrons, right? Now this hydrogen ion from water will accept the lone pair of electrons of the nitrogen atom of the ammonia molecule, which leads to the formation of a coordinate covalent bond. In this way, we can show how coordinate bond can be formed in NH4 plus, that means in ammonium ion. I hope the coordinate bond is clear to you all. Next, see the comparison of electrovalent and covalent compounds. Now, if we consider bond, what type of bond is present in case of electrovalent compound? Here the electrovalent or the ionic bond is present, and in case of covalent compounds, covalent bond is present. Now the electrovalent compounds, they exist in crystalline hard solids in room temperature. In hard solids we will find electrovalent compounds, but covalent compounds can be seen in gases, liquids, or in soft solids also we can get.
Okay. And the force of attraction in case of electrovalent compounds, it is very, very strong. But in case of covalent compounds, the force of attraction is weak. It has the weak van der Waals forces. Okay. And moreover, the electrovalent compounds are non-volatile. Why? Because the force of attraction is very strong. That's why it is non-volatile. But in case of covalent compounds, the force of attraction is very weak. That's why it is volatile. Clear? Now, next, the melting and the boiling point in case of electrovalent compounds, both are very high. But in case of covalent compounds, it is low. Why? Because as in case of electrovalent compounds, the force of attraction is very strong. So, large amount of energy will be required to break that force of attraction. That's why the melting and the boiling point is very high. But in case of covalent compounds, the force between the molecules is very weak. So less amount of energy will be required to break the force of attraction, right? It's a very common sense. That's why the covalent, in case of covalent compounds, melting and the boiling point are low. Okay. Now, conductivity of heat. In case of electrovalent compounds, they are good conductors of heat. But covalent compounds are, most of them are bad, or they are the non-conductors of heat. Okay. Next, electricity. In case of the conductivity of electricity, electrovalent compounds, when they are solid, in solid state, they are not at all, they cannot conduct electricity, they are non-conductors. But if they are in molten or aqueous state, yes, then the electrovalent compounds they are the good conductors of electricity. But on the other hand, in case of covalent compounds, whether they are in soft solid state or in gaseous or liquid state, in all the states they are non-conductors. That means they cannot conduct electricity. So as they cannot conduct electricity, so that they cannot be electrolyzed, whereas the electrovalent compounds can be electrolyzed, but in molten or in aqueous state, not in solid state. Clear? Now let's see. Next comes the solubility. Electrovalent compounds are soluble in water, but they are insoluble in inorganic solvents. Whereas on the other hand, the covalent compounds are insoluble in water, but they are soluble in inorganic solvents. That means inorganic solvents means the non-polar solvents. And water is a polar solvent. So electrovalent compounds are soluble in polar solvent like water. They are insoluble in inorganic solvents like non-polar solvents. But covalent compounds are soluble in non-polar solvents like the inorganic solvents. Okay. But they are not soluble in case of water or polar solvent. Clear? Next is the reactions. Electrovalent compounds, they undergo high speed ionic reactions because free ions can easily formed in solution. Okay. But covalent compounds, they undergo slow speed molecular reactions. They undergo high speed molecular reactions and they undergo slow speed molecular reactions, the covalent compounds. First, the covalent molecules are first broken, then new bonds are slowly established. But in case of electrovalent compounds, free ions can easily formed in the solution. That's why the ionic reactions are very high speed. But in case of covalent compounds, first the covalent molecules will be broken, then new bonds will form. So it takes time. So that's why the ionic reactions are slow in speed. And in case of dissociation, what happens? Electrovalent compounds, they undergo electrolytic dissociation because electrolysis occurs here in molten or in aqueous state. For example, when sodium chloride will be dissolved in water or in molten state or in aqueous state, then it will dissociate into sodium ions and chloride ions, Na plus Cl minus, but in molten state. Okay, not in solid state. Whereas in case of covalent compounds, it undergoes ionization. Okay, it undergoes ionization in solution state on the passage of electric current. The process that involves is the formation of ions from the molecules which are not in the ionic state. Suppose if we take the example of hydrogen chloride, HCl, then what will happen? H plus Cl minus. In solution state it will happen. So the electrovalent compounds undergo electrolytic dissociation and in case of covalent compounds they undergo ionization. That means ions will be formed from molecules. Clear? Now I think the whole topic, that means the chemical bonding, this topic is very much clear to you all. I think I have made myself clear. So this is all for this topic. This is the last lesson of this topic. I will upload the next videos on some other topic very soon. Till then, stay tuned to my channel. And if you think my videos are informative and helpful, then please like and share my videos. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching the video.